ask you something. When was the last time you truly looked at yourself in the mirror? Not to fix your hair or critique your flaws, but to really see you. I mean, the person who has been through every battle, every heartbreak, every victory. You stand in front of the world every single day, giving your energy, your time, your love. But what do you save for yourself? Most of us have been taught to pour into others before we pour into ourselves. We give until there's nothing left, and then we wonder why we feel empty, broken, or stuck. But let me tell you something. You will never truly thrive until you learn to love yourself more than anyone else. This is not selfish. This is survival. This is the secret to unlocking every goal, every dream, every ounce of peace you've ever craved. Here's the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the love you refuse to give yourself. That's why today I'm going to give you the blueprint to finally put yourself first, unapologetically. By the end of this speech, you'll understand why loving yourself is not just an act of kindness. It's the most powerful strategy for achieving everything you've ever wanted. So stay with me, because if you're ready to level up, if you're ready to transform from the inside out, this message is for you. Let's get into it. Would you like me to expand further into the body of the speech? Self-love is the cornerstone of everything you want to achieve in life. It's the foundation, the bedrock, the very thing that supports every decision, every relationship, and every goal you set. Without it, everything else crumbles. Think about it. How can you expect to build a successful career, nurture meaningful relationships, or chase your dreams if you're constantly doubting your worth? Loving yourself isn't just a nice idea. It's a necessity. When you love yourself, you start to move differently. You don't beg for attention, validation, or approval because you already know your value. You're no longer waiting for someone else to tell you that you're enough. You stop chasing people and situations that don't serve you because you finally realize that you deserve better. Self-love isn't arrogance. It's about recognizing that you matter, that you are worthy of all the good things life has to offer. But here's the catch. This kind of love doesn't come from external sources. It doesn't come from a relationship, a job, or a number in your bank account. It comes from within. It's a decision you make every single day to choose yourself, to show up for yourself, and to be your own biggest supporter. When you truly understand this, everything changes. You stop playing small. You stop tolerating mediocrity in your life. You start setting boundaries, taking risks, and going after what you want with confidence. Why? Because self-love creates a shift in your mindset. It takes you from, I hope I can, to, I know I will. It's not just the foundation of your success. It's the fuel that drives it. When you don't just survive, you thrive. And that's the power of learning to love yourself. It's the ultimate game changer. Let me ask you this. How often do you put everyone else's needs ahead of your own? How many times have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? You're not alone. It's something so many of us do. We think it makes us good people, noble even. But let's be real for a second. What does it cost you? Every time you sacrifice your needs, your energy, your dreams for the sake of someone else's approval, you're chipping away at your own value. You're teaching yourself and everyone around you that your well-being is optional. Let me tell you something. It's not. When you neglect yourself, you pay the price. That price might be burnout, resentment, low self-esteem, or even physical health issues. You feel drained, unfulfilled, and stuck in a cycle where you give and give, but never seem to get anything back. And here's the truth. The world will take as much as you allow it to, leaving you with nothing if you let it. This is why loving yourself is not a luxury, it's survival. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give your best to anyone, your family, your career, your community, if you're running on fumes. Prioritizing yourself doesn't make you selfish. It makes you stronger. It allows you to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. The cost of neglecting yourself is too high. It steals your joy, your peace, and your potential. But the moment you decide to start valuing yourself, everything changes. You become unstoppable. You step into your power, knowing that when you take care of yourself first, you're in a position to truly make a difference, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Respect starts with you. It's not something you can demand from others until you've learned to give it to yourself. Think about it. How can you expect someone else to honor your boundaries, value your time, or recognize your worth if you don't demonstrate those things in the way you treat yourself? Every decision you make, every action you take is a reflection of how much respect you have for yourself. When you settle for less than you deserve, whether it's in relationships, your career, or even the way you talk to yourself, you're sending a message to the world that it's okay to treat you that way too. But when you hold yourself to a higher standard, you inspire others to do the same. Respecting yourself is about more than just words. It's about action. It's about showing up for yourself every day, even when it's hard. It's about keeping promises you make to yourself, whether that's committing to your goals, taking care of your health, or creating time to rest. It's about setting boundaries and having the courage to enforce them, even when it's uncomfortable. And here's the thing, self-respect isn't just about what you do, it's about what you don't do. You stop engaging in negative self-talk. You stop tolerating toxic behavior. You stop settling for anything that doesn't align with the life you know you deserve. When you respect yourself, you're not just building a better relationship with yourself. You're building a foundation for every other relationship in your life. People will treat you the way you treat yourself. So set the standard. Show the world what you're worth by showing yourself first. We all have that voice in our head, the one that whispers, "You're not good enough. You can't do this. Why even try?" It's the inner critic, and for so many of us, it's louder than any cheerleader we've ever had. But let me tell you something. That voice is a liar. The inner critic thrives on fear and insecurity. It feeds off past mistakes and magnifies every flaw, trying to convince you that you're not capable, not worthy, not enough. And here's the dangerous part. If you let it, that voice will keep you small. It will stop you from taking risks, chasing dreams, and becoming the person you're meant to be. But here's the good news. You have the power to silence it, not by ignoring it, but by challenging it. When that voice tells you you can't do this, ask yourself, why not? When it says you're not good enough, remind yourself of the times you've proven it wrong. Replace the lies with truths. Replace the doubt with evidence of your strength, your resilience, your capability. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about shifting the narrative in your mind. Start speaking to yourself like you would to a friend, kindly, compassionately, and with encouragement. Because here's the reality. You are the one person you'll spend every second of your life with. If you wouldn't tolerate a toxic friend or partner, why tolerate a toxic inner dialogue? Silencing the inner critic is not a one-time battle. It's a daily commitment. But every time you choose to believe in yourself instead of doubting, every time you replace fear with courage, You take back control. You reclaim your confidence, your peace, and your power. And once you do that, there's nothing you can't achieve. The story is your power. Every chapter, the wins, the losses, the triumphs, the mistakes, it all matters. But too often, we try to hide parts of our story, ashamed of the struggles or the setbacks, wishing we could rewrite the painful pages. Let me tell you something. You don't need a new story. You need to own the one you have. Every scar, every failure, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it, they've shaped you into the person you are today. They've given you strength, resilience, and wisdom. Hiding from your story doesn't protect you. It robs you of your power. Owning it, though, that's where transformation begins. When you own your story, you stop letting it define you in a negative way. You stop letting the past hold you back or dictate your future. Instead, you use it as fuel. That heartbreak taught you what you deserve. That failure showed you how to grow. That struggle proved how strong you are. Your story isn't something to run from. It's something to stand on. And here's the beautiful part. When you embrace your story, you inspire others to do the same. You become a reminder that perfection isn't what connects us. Authenticity does. People don't need to see a flawless version of you. They need to see the real you, the one who's overcome, adapted, and thrived. Owning your story is one of the most powerful acts of self-love you can commit to. It's a declaration that you are enough, just as you are, with every chapter included. Your story doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. And when you step into it fully, you'll realize that the very things you once wanted to hide are the things that make you unstoppable. Saying no is one of the most powerful acts of self-love, yet it's one of the hardest things for most people to do. We've been taught that saying yes makes us kind, helpful, and agreeable. But here's the truth. Constantly saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself. So every time you agree to something that doesn't serve you, whether it's taking on extra work, attending an event you don't want to go to, or tolerating behavior that drains your energy, you're chipping away at your own boundaries. And let me be clear, boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about protecting the space where you can grow, thrive, and be at your best. Setting boundaries doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. It's about understanding that your time, energy, and mental well-being are valuable and not everyone is entitled to them. It's about recognizing your limits and honoring them even when it's uncomfortable. And yes, it will be uncomfortable at first. People who are used to you always saying yes might push back, but that's not your problem to solve. When you start saying no to what doesn't align with your values or your goals, you make room for what does. You free up space to focus on your dreams, your health, your happiness. You start to realize that you're not just here to live for others, you're here to live for yourself too. The key to setting boundaries is this. Say no with clarity and confidence, without guilt or over-explanation. You don't owe anyone an apology for prioritizing yourself. When you enforce your boundaries, you're not just protecting your time, you're declaring your worth. And when you do that, you're teaching others how to respect you, just like you've learned to respect yourself. Gratitude is a game changer when it comes to self-love. It's easy to get caught up in what you think you're lacking, whether it's a skill, a certain look, or level of success. But focusing on what you don't have blinds you to the incredible gifts you already possess. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It helps you see yourself as whole, as enough, as worthy of love. When was the last time you paused to appreciate you? I'm not talking about gratitude for external things like your home, job, or relationships, but gratitude for your unique qualities, the way you show up for others, the challenges you've overcome, or the simple fact that you keep going even on tough days. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the areas where you want to grow. It means recognizing the value of who you are right now. When you start practicing gratitude for yourself, you change the way you see yourself. You stop criticizing every flaw or misstep and start celebrating the fact that you're trying, learning, and improving every single day. This practice doesn't have to be complicated. Start small. Every morning, take a moment to name one thing you appreciate about yourself. Maybe it's your determination, your kindness, or even your sense of humor. Write it down. Say it out loud. Whatever makes it real for you. Over time, those small moments of gratitude build into a deep sense of self-worth. Gratitude reminds you that you don't need to be perfect to be deserving of love, especially your own. It helps you see yourself through a lens of compassion and abundance rather than criticism and lack. And when you learn to be grateful for who you are, you'll discover that you've always been enough. Pain is an inevitable part of life, but how you respond to it is what defines you. For many of us, pain feels like an enemy, a force that holds us back, breaks us down, and keeps us stuck. But here's the truth. Pain isn't just something to endure. It's something to use. Pain can be your greatest teacher, your strongest motivator, and your most powerful catalyst for growth, if you let it. Think back to the hardest moment in your life. Maybe it was a heartbreak, a failure, or a loss that left you questioning everything. At the time, it felt impossible, didn't it? Like you'd never move past it. But look at you now. You survived, you learned, you grew. That pain didn't destroy you. It built you. The key is shifting your mindset about pain. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what can I learn from this? Instead of seeing pain as a roadblock, see it as a stepping stone. Every struggle you face is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Turning pain into power doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing it. It means allowing yourself to feel it, process it, and then use it to propel yourself forward. It's about recognizing that every wound can become a source of strength. Every setback can be a setup for a comeback. Once you embrace this perspective, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your life. Pain loses its power to control you because you've learned to use it as fuel. And once you learn to turn your pain into power, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. The people you surround yourself with play a crucial role in your journey of self-love. Look at your circle, the friends, family, colleagues, and even the people you follow on social media. Are they lifting you up, encouraging your growth, and supporting your goals? Or are they draining your energy, planting seeds of doubt, and keeping you small? Here's the reality. You cannot fully love yourself if you're constantly surrounded by negativity or relationships that don't honor your worth. You are influenced by the energy you allow into your life. That's why it's so important to choose wisely. Healthy relationships should feel like a partnership in growth. They should inspire you to be better while accepting you exactly as you are. These are the people who celebrate your successes without envy, who call you out with love when you're holding yourself back, and who remind you of your value on the days you forget. But let's be honest, sometimes choosing love means letting go. It means walking away from toxic relationships, cutting ties with people who don't respect your boundaries, and unfollowing those who make you feel less than. This isn't about hate or resentment. It's about protecting your peace. Surrounding yourself with love doesn't mean you need a huge circle. Quality beats quantity every time. One or two people who genuinely care about you are worth more than 100 who don't. And here's the kicker. The most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. When you prioritize that, you'll naturally attract people who reflect the same love and respect you give yourself. The love you allow into your life should amplify the love you've already built within. Surround yourself with people who will remind you of your strength, your beauty, and your potential. Because when your circle is strong, your self-love becomes unshakable. Self-love isn't just a concept, it's a practice. It's something you commit to doing every single day, not just when you feel like it, but especially when you don't. Like anything worthwhile, it takes time, effort, and consistency. But the beauty of it is that the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Even start by creating small habits that reinforce your worth. It could be something as simple as taking 5 minutes in the morning to affirm your value, setting intentions for your day that prioritize your well-being, or creating a ritual gratitude at night where you celebrate your victories, no matter how small they seem. Next, invest in your growth. Read the books that challenge you, engage in the activities that excite you, and surround yourself with people who inspire you to keep evolving. Self-love isn't just about feeling good. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And that requires continuous learning, growth, and improvement. Don't forget to take care of your body. Physical self-love is just as important as mental and emotional self-love. Exercise, eat nourishing foods, rest, and listen to your body's needs. When you treat your body with respect, it becomes easier to treat your mind and spirit the same way. Finally, be patient with yourself. You won't become the highest version of yourself overnight. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when you feel like you're not enough. But remember, you are enough. Right now, as you are, and every step you take towards loving yourself more is a step towards the life you have always dreamed of. So take action today. Make the decision to commit to yourself. Start small, but keep going. Because the more you love yourself, the more everything else in your life will fall into place. You've got this.